Kilimo cha Paa, kipindi kinachokuelimisha, kukujuza na kukupa mwanga katika kilimo. Kipindi kilichorahisishwa hatua baada ya hatua kwenye safari ya kilimo na biashara. Nia yetu ni kukupa ujuzi kwa njia ya vitendo, haswa kwenye maeneo ya ufugaji, upanzi wa mimea, magonjwa, magugu na hata wadudu. Tunakupa fursa ya kufahamu kilimo kwa kina. Ungana nasi kila siku ya Ijumaa saa 12 jioni katika Kilimo cha Paa, makala yako kwenye runinga uipendayo, Maisha TV.
The politics of degree and the politics of no degree has created a political storm in the country, with the latest being the Deputy President William Ruto, who has backed up the MCAs who are on the side of the no degree politics. We have these and other news lined up for you, but these are our top stories.
If there is no BBI, we will postpone elections until we get BBI. And it is us who can constitute, not me.
Nilitangaza, lakini wengine wanasema ati hawawezi kuniunga mkono. Mimi si nimeuliza wao niunge mkono?
Welcome. Central Organization of Trade Union Secretary General Francis Atwoli has declared that the 2022 elections will be delayed if the BBI Constitution Amendment Bill will not go through. Speaking during a press address, he stated that he and the interested parties will respect the decisions by the courts. We have a full report for this. Let's have a look.
KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli is not only known as workers' leader with many offices in various countries on earth, but also for spitting fiery political utterances. Allah! Allah! He has come out to declare that there will be no 2022 general elections if the referendum to amend the 2010 constitution through BBI is not held.
If there is no BBI, we will postpone elections until we get BBI. And it is us who can post. It will not be leaders, it will not be political leaders, it is us who get problems.
He said this during a scheduled presser in Nakuru on Thursday. The workers' boss stated that he and interested parties would respect the decision by the courts, urging Kenyans, especially workers whom he said are affected at the end of every election due to the violence in various parts of the country, to push parliamentarians to delay elections.
But what I know for sure, BBI will be there. And if there will be no BBI, this one I can tell you with authority, then we will look into an issue of making sure we have BBI before we go for elections. We want peace in this country as workers, and it did not augur well. So I know any judge, even if it's a newly appointed judge or any judge in the Court of Appeal, who is worth his salt and free, independent in thinking, qualified to make a determination, still will save the opportunity to BBI. If anything happened, they didn't give us a ruling, we'll still move to Supreme Court. If we can't get it, then we will have to start it afresh, and we will also extend the time. We will appeal through our parliamentarians to extend the election by even either 1 year.
On Thursday, May 13th, the High Court judges Justice Teresia Madheka, Joel Ngugi, George Odunga, Jairus Nga, and Chacha Mwita declared that the amendment bill is unconstitutional due to a number of illegalities encompassed in the bill. The unionist claimed that the ruling was 100% political and it was centered around the office of the presidency.
So, but I don't want to talk too much because everything is in court, and we will wait. I know the court will give us, will determine, because the ruling, to me, according to me, the ruling that was made by the High Court judges had nothing to do with BBI. It was 100% political, and it was 100% centered to the office of the president.
Francis Atwoli also weighed in on the recent debacle that surrounded the Atwoli Road signage planted on the former Kileleshwa's Dick Road. Atwoli said the idea of naming the road after him was initially coined by a member of the Nairobi County Assembly, stating that he did not push for the honor by the Nairobi MCAs. The Kotu boss added that he was recognized the world over and thus the small road did not bother him.
Let me tell you, I didn't do any lobbying. Even the boy, I have never met the boy who did proposal in the assembly. The young man, I'm told, is an MCA from Kara. And when he mentioned my name, the assembly went wild. It was unanimous in the assembly. There was no debate on that. And then what I was informed only was that, please, on such a date, we will be honoring you. If you are around, avail yourself. That is what I was told. I didn't lobby for that. I don't need to lobby for that small road.
Atwoli stated that the honor by the MCAs was a show of gratitude to his service to Kenyan workers, adding that he had previously been feted globally for his work. He said that those who had felt his impact needed to celebrate him while he was still alive and not after his death.
So the small road people making noise, and these people are making noise, it's not because it is just envy. Being envious for nothing. People have been named. Today I said, let heroes be celebrated when they are alive. When I'm seeing I'm being celebrated, don't name a road after my death. I don't know. It doesn't do anything when I'm still alive. Call me to badges, call me to everything. Not to come to my funeral and start praising me, how I was powerful trade union, how I led world powerful labor movement. I will curse you.
The Kotu boss faulted a section of politicians whom he claimed were behind banning of the signage in Kileleshwa. He said his name is a world brand that requires signage owner on highways and supercarriages. The Koto boss faulted a section of politicians whom he claimed were behind banning of the signage in Kileleshwa. He said his name is a world brand that requires signage owner on highways and supercarriages.
I am known worldwide.
The Dick Road signage was re-erected in his honor in Kileleshwa and was repainted on Tuesday, June 14th after a group of unknown people raised it the night before. Maisha TV.
In a section of leaders who were in State House on Monday, when President Uhuru Kenyatta hosted leaders from Ukambani region, now say the president was misquoted about his support for a NASA leader in the 2022 elections.
I was in the meeting, and I have found people are very interesting. There are people who are not in that meeting who know more about what was happening in the meeting than those of us who are there. When you go into State House, you leave your phones and you leave your phones outside. So I don't know who is this that is coming up with those stories. In fact, I read that headline and I was shocked. I will say this, the only thing the head of state said is that you need to unite in order to form leadership for the nation. That is what he said. He said when leaders are united, the development will be achieved. So this issue of saying that he said he's going to back one of the NASA leaders, I don't think that is true. He said leaders should unite. One thing that we are certain is that this community is going to have one of their own vying for the presidency in 2022. And that's none other than His Excellency Dr. Stephen. All I can ask is that we have supported others. Let them also support us. I mean, this is a time, this is a time to also return the favor. You cannot be given a favor continuously, and the favor is always for you. Let us also return the favor. Kalonzo has supported Raila twice.
President William Ruto urged MPs to review Section 22 of the Elections Act, which requires degree qualifications for elective seats holders in the 2022 polls, saying it is discriminatory. The Deputy President faulted the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) on degree qualification for elective seat holders in the 2022 polls, saying it was unconstitutional to force even the MCAs to have degrees to contest for the ward rep's position.
MCAs, members of parliament, senators, make a contribution through legislation.
Deputy President William Ruto has broken his silence regarding the ongoing debate about the requirement for MCAs to have a degree in order to vie for the post. The second in command said that requiring MCAs, governors, MPs and the president have the same qualification of a bachelor's degree is not reasonable, hence the need to make an amendment to the act.
The Constitution, Article 200 of the Constitution, provides for Parliament to make legislation for qualifications of both voters and candidates for all elective positions in Kenya. But
Section 22 of the Elections Act 2011 requires all candidates vying for parliamentary and county assembly positions to hold a bachelor's degree.
Article 38 of the same Constitution says and prohibits any unreasonable restrictions being placed in the way of voters or candidates to be able to vie or vote in any election or referendum.
The DP spoke today at his current residential home during a meeting with MCAs from Baringo County, Baringo led by Speaker David Kiplagat Kerich. According to the DP, the qualification restrictions only allow a small percentage of the population to run for political positions and leave the rest disenfranchised. Ruto's comments come as Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen moves to propose the amendment of Section 22 for the Elections Act 2011.
Parliament, in exercise of its legislative responsibility, enacted legislation provide for qualifications. But when Parliament provided for those qualifications. They provided for qualifications, the same qualification for people who want to be president, people who want to be senators, people who want to be members of parliament, people who want to be members of county assemblies. If the intention of the Constitution was to provide a uniform qualification for all those positions, then it would have provided it in the Constitution.
The Elections Amendment Bill 2021 will be introduced in the Senate for the first reading next month when the lawmakers resume plenary sessions after a month-long recess. In a motion tabled before the Senate on Thursday, June 17th, Murkomen opposed In a motion tabled before the Senate on Thursday, June 17th, Murkomen opposed the discrimination of candidates based on their academic qualification, noting that all candidates should be allowed to vie for the above positions as long as they can read and write.
And therefore, I want to give you my word that we are going to support the review of those recommendations that were made in the law, so that we can allow the majority of Kenyans to be able to vie in these positions. It is not reasonable that only 1% of Kenyans qualify to vie for elective positions, and we disenfranchise 99% of the population.
Murkomen's bill seeks to amend the Elections Act number 24 of 2011 to remove the requirement for a person vying for nomination as a candidate to hold a degree and only require them to have the capacity to read and write in English and Kiswahili. The amendment is premised on Article 38, Part 3 of the Constitution, which provides that every adult citizen has a right without unreasonable restrictions to be registered as a voter, to vote by secret ballot in any election or the referendum, and to be a candidate for public office or office within a political party of which the citizen is a member and elected to hold office. Maisha TV.
And now to matters education, the county have raised concerns merging of vocational training institutions fund with the equitable share of revenue. The stakeholders maintain that this move could hamper activities at the institution, given that some county heads could forget allocating the 2 billion shillings from the treasury to the said institutions. Meanwhile, the counties are preparing the TVET institutions with over 1,000 of students expected to join technical and TVET institutions next month after the 2020 KCSE exams. The technical and TVET institutions have vacancies for 331,045 new students, while public and private universities have 160,160 spaces for government-sponsored students. Only 143,140 candidates who scored a mean grade of C+ and above will join universities and TVET institutions.
There has been this change in funding for the vocational training centers. As you are aware, we have been getting direct grants from the national government, and that has gone a long way in assisting us to equip them and develop facilities.
In 2016, when after the vocational training centers were handed over to the county, we had an enrollment of less than 2,000. At the time, we had 19 vocational training centers,
which is taking care specifically for the interest of the disabled. And in the way we design our contracts, our people with disabilities are always given the quota that is always designed for them according to the Constitution and according to our Act.
A section of Mount Kenya leaders have warned on those who plan to stop the coronation of National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi as the Mount Kenya spokesperson. The exercise is said to be conducted in Nyeri County, with the respective leaders insisting that despite criticism, he still remains the chosen spokesperson for the community. Philip Simiu has the details.
The National Speaker Justin Muturi's journey to be the spokesperson of Mount Kenya region has not been an easy right from the latter.
Nani huyu mkubwa kuliko Uhuru Kenyatta anakutuma?
His last coronation exercise as spokesperson at Mukuru wa Nyakatanga in Murang'a County 3 weeks ago saw him being showered with criticism, and now the next coronation exercise in Nyeri County is also fast with this in fact.
Hata wale wanalalamika wakisema Muturi havai, mbona wewe unjitokezi kama mwanaume ukutana na Muturi? Sasa uwanda ni wasi.
A section of Mount Kenya leaders pushing for Port as the region spokesman have now dared those fueling criticism against to try and stop the process come Saturday in Narumuru, Nyeri County.
Sisi tumefanya yetu, wasituingilie, waende wafanye yao. Tuliona wako na governor wa Murang'a, Mwangi wa Iria, waende wamfanyie takazo yake. Sisi wanatuingilia kwa nini? Mimi naona kila siku wanakuja, hatuna ubaya na Muturi, ni wale watu wanamleta. Kwani wao ni nani? Ni kama ile gari iko kwa barabara, bora mtu aweke sheria za traffic. Kwani si gari inaenda yote Nairobi? Mtu aendeshe yake, usikuje leni yangu na wewe usikuje leni. Wewe endesha gari yako, waambie waendeshe gari yao, waende wapeleke hiyo mtu yao pale wanataka. Muturi ni sisi tumeona anatosha, tukamweka kwa ratili ya wazee. Ratili ya wazee tunaangalia mtu ambaye hana vita, mtu anaunganisha watu, mtu analeta amani.
The ceremony will be conducted by Wagongoni, who are Kikuyu traditional spiritual pillars at the shrines located on the slopes of Mount Kenya. The leaders further refuted claims that Mukuru wa Nyakatanga was a shrines and that it was only the home of the Kikuyu parents of Muturi.
Kama hamuna shima, wazee watalida hii kishaka. Wamekuwa maumau, wamefanya mambo mingi, wanaobea hapo. Kama hakuna heshima ya kupitia kwao, mseme vile mnataka, ndio wajue watasimama hapa, tutaona kama mtapitia hapo. Kama mtakuja mkanyaga wazee, mtawakanyaga siku hiyo. Sasa kile tunasema ni heshima. Heshima ya matusi hatutaki. Na mzee Kungu anatakiwa kuheshimu viongozi wetu.
Meanwhile, those criticizing the exercise have remained firm on opposing the way the exercise has far conducted, calling for talks with faction leaders pushing for installation of Muturi as Mount Kenya region spokesperson.
Sasa kusikia naenda huko jamani.
Philip Simiyu, Maisha TV.
And the ODM party leader Raila Odinga has taken a swipe at the Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka over the 2022 general elections. Kalonzo had on Wednesday said that it was very unlikely that he will support Raila Odinga for the presidency again. But in a response today, Raila, who was speaking in Mombasa, said that he has not even announced his interest in the presidency. Let's have a look.
Orange Democratic Movement Party leader Raila Odinga has started his coastal region political rally to consolidate his position in the area that has been anticipated to be a battleground between him and the Deputy President William Ruto.
Hajui kwa sababu gani mtu wako na mkokoteni? Hajui sababu gani mtu anauza kiosk? Yeye aliamukia supermarket. Ni mnanielewa? Kwa hivyo huyo tumsamee. Ama namna gani? Awachane na ile kazi hajui. Anaweza kuendesha kitendawili hiyo anajua. Lakini hii ya mambo ya mahasla hajui. Ninyi mnanielewa?
Odinga has toured Mombasa County today where he was accompanied by top government leaders and lawmakers such as Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho. He toured Mombasa Referral Hospital where he promised to settle medical bills for all patients in the hospital.
So amenambia kwamba wale wagonjwa wote ambaye wako hapa leo na hawana malipo ni siku yao ya kwenda nyumbani bila ya mali. Wasikie hiyo. Baba ameniambia hapa, tumetembea akaniambia governor, fanya hivi. Wale wagonjwa ambaye wako hapa hawana malipo waende nyumbani. Na mimi nasa kwa vile ndio rais wa hii county na pia nayo amri Dr. Kandola yuko Chola. You implement it immediately. Mtu ambaye hana mapeni aende wapi? Nyumbani.
While addressing his ODM supporters this afternoon, Odinga has taken a swipe at Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka over the 2022 elections. Kalonzo had on Wednesday said he will not support Raila Odinga again ahead of the 2022 polls. The Wiper leader said he will rather retire than support Raila Odinga.
Ukiona vyaelea ujue vimeundwa. Na umesikia vile Raila ameongea hapa. Bado vitu vinaundwa. Na kwa hivyo vitaelea. We have of course NASA, hatuja tupilia mbali NASA. Technically it is there. Kwa hivyo msihofia.
But in a response, Odinga has answered back saying he has not declared whether he will be in the presidential bid or not, and therefore people should stop linking him to the 2022 elections.
Nilitangaza. Lakini wengine wanasema ati hawawezi kuniunga mkono. Mimi si nimeuliza wewe uniunge mkono? Mimi sijatangaza. Bado wanaanza kutetemeka. Naanza kubweka. Subiri bwana, mambo bado.
Na baba hakutangaza atako rais, mimi nishatangaza lakini mjue.
Odinga also promised that BBI bill is on the half term and it will resume soon. This comes after the High Court ruled against the bill last month, saying it's unconstitutional.
Sisi tunaangalia kwanza mambo ya BB mahakama ilitupeleka BBI kwa half time. Rege ijasimama, rege imeenda kwa half time. Sivyo? Endelee. Nobody can stop rege.
Reporting for Maisha TV, I'm Amoga Shane.
Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua has challenged those criticizing Deputy President William Ruto to change tack instead of mentioning him every now and then. Mutua said that both the President Uhuru Kenyatta and the ODM leader Raila Odinga are strengthening Ruto politically by mentioning him in events. Speaking in the pipeline area in Mbakasi, Nairobi County, Mutua challenged the two and other political leaders to change their strategy. The governor's remarks comes days after the State House meeting that brought together leaders from the Ukambani region, of which he was also among the attendants.
Kwa sababu tukiongea kuhusu Ruto kila wakati anapata hiyo marks ya kuongelewa, kila wakati yuko kwa gazeti, anawekwa kwa gazeti. Na huyo Ruto tunamjua. Tunajua historia yake, tunajua mahali ametoka. Na mimi nimekuja hapa kusema ya kwamba we need better choices in this country, not the ones we have been given all the time. Kwa hivyo naimiza viongozi, tuanze kuongea kuhusu uchumi, tuanze kuongea kuhusu pesa, tuanze kuongea mahali tuwapeleka Wakenya. Wakenya wako na njaa. Vijana hapa wameniambia hawajakunywa chai, akina mama duka hapa hakuna biashara, kuna njaa. Na hii ni culture hii ya handout. Mimi kawaida mimi sipeani handout, sababu hii culture ya handout ndio inawaumiza. Tunataka viongozi wanawapatia hand up. Anakupatia ndoano, unapata samaki. Si samaki wa leo na kesho uko na njaa. Lazima tupindue mafikira yetu, tuone vile tutaendelea na kuhimiza maisha yetu ya Kenya. Na mwisho mimi nataka kuambia hivi watu wangu. Mimi ni kijana, nimezaliwa kwa shida. Nimeishi Makina kule Kibira, nimeishi Kawangware, nikiwa form 2 nikaacha shule kwa sababu ya maskini. Mimi nilinufaika, nikapata scholarship, nikaenda Marekani, nikaenda Australia, nikafanya kazi Dubai, Kibaki akaniona, nikarudi hapa kwa sababu nilikuwa chap msemaji wa serikali, nimekuwa governor muhula wa pili, najua Kenya shida yake nini. Tunaweza kuwa tajiri katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Na ndio mimi niliamua ya kwamba lazima nibadilishe Kenya. Kwa sababu nimeangalia wengine wanaitisha kura, nikauliza wengine ni nini ambacho kipya watatupatia ambacho hawajafanya. Angalia ile kazi tumefanya Machakos.
Well, that's all we had for Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Chebet. Kering, enjoy your night.